recording. Okay, now this paper is actually not a very hard paper, so it will not take it won't take a long time to go through this paper because it's quite a normal paper. So not very hard, but not very easy. It's manageable. Okay, so can we look at question 1? All right, so let's start already. Question 1 and okay, question 1. So shortcuts. So I want you to take note about the shortcuts. Is my voice very clear? All right, my voice is clear, right? Okay, anyone who can't hear my voice clearly, you raise a hand. Okay, Jordan, got to start your video for Jordan. Okay, round off around 372,851 to the nearest 100. Okay, so how do you round off the nearest hundreds? Hundreds, there are 2 zeros. So you have to draw a line. Okay, draw a line to show the last 2 digits. Okay, that's what you do. And then look at the digit nearest the line and ask a question. All right, ask this important question. Is the digit 5 or bigger? All right, is it 5 or bigger? Yes. Then what do? You add 1 on the next digit. Okay, and what do you get? You will get 372 and 900. Okay, something like that. Okay, so that's your nearest hundreds. All right, so what do you do again? Now, if you want to round off the nearest hundreds, you draw a line to show the last 2 digits. And look at the digit nearest the line and ask this question, is it 5 or bigger? If it's 5 or bigger, you have to add 1 on the next digit. And then you will get 372,900. And your answer is number 3. Okay, all right. Okay, question number 2, your 4 operations. So what do you do first? You have to do the bracket first, step by step. Okay, so this is how you do. I think that's a plus. 24 plus 16 divide by, do the bracket first. So you will see that Miss Tong will show the arrow sign. Arrow sign means you do first, and then write out everything else the same. Okay, what do you do next? There's a plus, there's a divide, there's a times. So you do the divide first, right? Divide is more important than plus. So 24 plus 4, and then times 2. Okay, and then you have a plus and times. What do you do first? Your times. So what do you see? The statement is getting shorter and shorter as you do step by step. Okay, then you get 24 plus 8, and your answer is 32. So answer number 4. Okay, all right, next one, question 3, shortcut. So there are 2 things you got to watch out. When I say shortcut, open your ears big. When I say methods, also open your ears big. So question 3, they are shortcut. So how do you find which numbers are common factors of 24 and 30? You take 24. Can 24 divide by 2? Yes. Can 24 divide by 3? Yes. Okay, then go to 30. Can 30 divide by 2? Yes. Can 30 divide by 3? Yes. Answer number 1. Okay, so that's a shortcut. So what is common factors? Means can divide, right? For example, can 24 divide by 3? Yes. But can 24 divide by 5? Cannot. So number 2 is out already. Okay, can 24 divide by 4? Yes. Can 24 divide by 5? Also cannot. So out already. All right. And then of course, do the same for number 4 as well, right? Number 4 will be wrong as well. So what are common factors? Common factors means you can divide, right? You can divide by the numbers, right? So number 1 is the answer. Are you clear? All right. Okay. Right. Anyone has any question? You ask me later. Okay. Ask me later. Okay. Now let's go to question number 4. Now find the value of 5/6 times 20. All right. Cancel the cancel method. Change the whole number into a fraction. Okay. How do you change a whole number into a fraction? Just take 20/1. Okay. 20/1. That becomes an improper fraction. Then divide by 2. Put the answer there. Divide by 2. Put the answer there. All right, can you cancel anymore? Cannot already. Then what do? You multiply the numerators. So 5 times 10 is 50. And then 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, but there's no answer in the options, right? Then what must you do? You have to change the improper to a mixed number. Okay, so how do you divide? So you take 1 times 3, and then you minus. Put the 0 down, and 6 times 3, 18, and that's a remainder 2. Okay, how do you get your mixed number? If you forget how to get the mixed number, you can do something like this, triangle, right? Something like a triangle. So 16 and 2/3, right? 16 and 2/3, that's your mixed number. Okay, that's what the P4 students are doing, all right? They learn how to do this way to get the mixed number. Okay, question number 5, shortcut. Okay, question number 5, shortcut. So what's the shortcut? You want to find the common multiples of 4 and 9. Do I need to write many numbers? Do I need to write many multiples? You don't have to. Just write down 4 and 9. And what is the shortcut? Look at the bigger number and write the multiples of the bigger number, which is 18, right? Can 18 divide by 4? Cannot. So jump to the next number. Can 27 divide by 4? Also cannot. Jump to the next multiple. Can 36 divide by 4? Yes. So that is your shortcut. So 36 is a common multiple. Answer number 4. Okay, shortcut lah. Otherwise, you'll be writing a lot of numbers later. Okay. All right, so do your corrections. You see, you have to write a little faster. Okay, question 6. Many of you have not learned algebra, but I still have to go through. Okay, so that we don't miss out any question. So how do you simplify the algebra expression? Okay, now when you go back to school, your teacher may do something like this. Your teacher may circle the groups. Okay, okay, let me just try to circle it nicely. So circle the groups. What are groups? It means that your group has okay, this is one group, right? There's a +7, that's one group, -5p, that's one group, and -3, that's another group. Okay, now why do you want to circle the groups? So that you can put the groups with the same kind side by side. Okay, for example, can I put the p's together? All right, put all the groups with the p inside. So how do I put them together? 12p put together with -5p, put together side by side. That's why you circle the groups and put them together. And then +7, which is a whole number, put it together with another whole number. Okay, this is what your teacher should be doing. All right, will be doing in school. All right, then can you minus already? 12p minus 5p, you will get 7p. And then 7 minus 3, 4. So what's your answer? 7p plus 4. Okay, that's how you simplify the algebra answer. Got it? You circle the groups and then put the groups with the same kind, put them beside each other. Okay, let's go to number 7. Okay, number 7. Okay, if you are still copying, don't worry, you can watch the video. Okay, what is the area of triangle ABC? So you must know what triangle are you looking at. You are looking at this triangle. If you look at the wrong triangle, then you get the wrong answer. So how do you find the area of this triangle? You must know the base. The base is usually, not every time, but usually horizontal. So what number is that? There's a markings there, which means that they are equal side. So this is also 5 cm. So the base must be 7. Agree? Then how do you get the height? Then some of you are still confused about how to get the height. Then remember the ruler. Okay, in P5, your teacher will have used the ruler. Put the ruler on the base and shift the ruler left and right along the base until we see a line that is parallel with the ruler. That is the height of the triangle. Okay, I hope you understand that. Use the ruler to find the heights. Okay, once you know the heights already, then half times, and always put the half in front. Because if you don't put the half in front, you will forget to divide by 2. So half times 7 times 5. And then cannot cancel, right? You cannot cancel. So what do you do? Never mind. You just take half times 35. 7 times 5 is 35. And then you must do dividing. So 35 divided by 2. No calculator. So how to divide? So 1 times 2, and you minus, pull the 5 down. 7 times 2, 14, and there's a remainder 1. So how do you continue dividing? Change the whole number into a decimal. 0.0, raise up the decimal point, pull the 0 down. 5 times 2 is 10. So what's the area of the triangle? 17.5 cm square. Okay, so you will need to know how to divide. Okay, how to divide to get decimal. Clear? Okay, question 8. Okay, and also add up your marks. Okay, add up your marks. Now, question 8, some of you are stuck. Okay, you don't know how to do this, but you should know what's the method. What's the method? Model drawing. Every time you see fractions, model drawing. Then you should draw your model. Because if you don't draw your model, you'll be using your brain. Okay, you'll be thinking much harder. So how do you draw the model? Betty has some fruits. What is the fraction talking about? The fruits. So 5/9 of the fruits were apples and the rest were oranges. 3/10 is talking about what? It's talking generally about the apples. So are the two fractions talking about the same group? They are not talking about the same group. So those of you who take 5/9 and then go and minus 3/10, you're wrong already because you cannot make the denominator the same. The two fractions are not talking about the same thing. So you cannot make the denominator the same. When you plus and minus fractions, you are already making the denominator the same, which is wrong. Okay, so understand that. So 3/10 of the apples were green and the rest were red. What fraction of the fruits were red? Okay, I don't know how to do, so how? I draw the model. So you look at the first fraction, which is talking about the fruits, cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 5/9 were apples and the rest were oranges. Okay, got to label your model. 3/10 of the apples, very easy. Look at the model, which is the apple, which is here. And how many boxes do you see? Which is 5 boxes. And you're supposed to cut into 10 because the second fraction is talking about the apples. So you go to the model and look for the apples, which is 5 rectangles, and cut it into 10, right? And do the same for all the other boxes, all right? And then label. 3 boxes of the apples were green, and the rest were red. Simple? Am I thinking? I'm not even thinking. Do you know that? I'm just drawing the problem. So what fraction of the fruits were red apples? So how many units are there altogether? Then you count all the units, 20 units of apples. And how many red? I think there are 7, right? If you count carefully. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So make sure your model is big, right? It's not too small, but not too big. So what fraction of the fruits were red apples? Did I make a mistake? Because
it's supposed to be 7 out of 18.
7 out of, let me count. How many boxes are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Alamak. Okay, 18, right? 18. So there are 18 units of fruits altogether. And there are 7 out of 18. 7/18 of the fruits were red apples. So the answer is 4. Okay, yeah, so ignore my mistake, which is a very minor mistake. You just have to count the units carefully, and that's how you get the answer. Okay, model method. All right, so what am I trying to tell you? Now, if you see fractions, you got to draw your model, and then you find that you think lesser. You really think lesser, and you can also do faster. And there's no step also. You realize I don't write any steps. There's no steps in my in this question. Okay, all right, let's go to question number 9. Okay, question 9. Okay, this one. Some of you got it wrong. Okay, now, and this is another reminder how to do this. In the square grid, a school is located as southwest of. What is off? Off means from. Okay, from point T. So before you find the answer, you need to do this. You need to write down the directions first. Write down the directions. So northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. Okay, you have to do this first. Otherwise, you'll be doing in your head, and that's dangerous. Okay, all right. So you start from where? From T. And you go southwest. Where? Here. All right, so you go southwest. So you must draw the compass first. And then on the actual map, you will see already. So what point is the school located? The school is located at point R. Okay, by now, Mr. must tell you after today's lesson, you should not make any mistakes on these kind of questions already. Because why? Because I have told you what is off already. Off is from. Okay, you start from there. Start from where? Start from point T and you go to whatever the question wants you to go. Okay, question 10, let's move on. Okay, now this one is also quite easy. What is not a symmetric figure? Well, look at number one, if you are not sure. Okay, let's say you are not sure in the exam. You go and eliminate those other answers that you are sure, which is not correct. So what are symmetric figures? Number 2 is symmetrical. Number 3, symmetrical. Use your pencil to do that. And number 4 is also symmetrical. Number 1, you are not sure what happened. Of course, that's the answer already because you eliminated 2, 3, and 4. I'm sure when you do your science paper, right? You don't know what is the answer. You can eliminate those answers that you think are wrong. So you narrow down your options to get the answer. Same. Okay, so number 1 is not symmetrical. Okay, and what is symmetric? Symmetric means when you cut it into half, the left side and the right side must be identical. So when you fold it, all right, they can fold nicely, right? They can fit nicely onto each other. That's called symmetric or mirror image, right? It's called mirror image. Okay, let's go to question 11. Okay, question 11. The class of students was asked to sell concert tickets. The table shows the number of tickets sold by the students. And the students sold a total of 56 tickets. How many students sold only 3 tickets each? Okay, so you should try to highlight the keywords and the important numbers so that you break down the problem. Then it won't be so hard for you. Okay, you look carefully. You need to look at the table and understand, especially the word each. All right. So if there are 9 students, how many tickets did the 9 students collect? 9 times 0, nothing. They collected nothing. Okay, if there are 11 students, they collected two stickers each. 11 times 2, 22. And of course, the next row, we are not sure. Okay, the next row, we don't know. Okay, we don't know how many for the next row. 2 students collected 5 stickers each. So 2 times 5, 10, right? 10. Okay, what is the total number of stickers collected, which is 56? So what should you do? You take 56 and minus 22, and you minus 10. And okay, I'm going to use my calculator so we can do a bit faster. 56 minus 22 minus 10, you will get 24 stickers collected by how many students? Now, every one of these students, they collected 3 stickers each. So you should take 24 stickers and then divide by 3 to get 8 students. So there must be 8 students who collected 3 stickers each. So answer number 3. Yep. Okay. All right. Question 12. Which of the following line is the line of symmetry? Okay, this one is quite, I think the student do for you already, right? Okay, the line is here. CD, it's very obvious. Okay, mirror image. So left and right is the same. Left and right look the same. Okay, mirror image. Okay, question 13. And this question, by the way, is supposed to be 1 mark. Okay, it can be a 1 mark because too easy to get 2 marks. Okay, let's go to question 13. Okay, now, when you see bar graph or line graph, what must you do? You need to put the numbers on the line. So count the gaps. So there are 2 gaps. How do you know that? 1, 2. Okay, 2 gaps. So 2 gaps will be 10 minus 0, you get 10. That's 2 gaps is equal to 10. So 1 gap or 1 unit is 5. Okay, then March is how many cars were sold in March? 45, April 30, and then your May is 35. So you got to put all this down on the line graph. And then 50, and then 40. Okay, so the graph shows the cars sold from March to July. What percentage of the total cars sold from March to July were sold in the month of April? Now, some of you have difficulty trying to get the percentage. Shortcut. Okay, shortcut. What's the shortcut? Change the percentage to fraction. So what fraction of the total cars sold from March to July? So can you add up the numbers? March to July. So you can add all these numbers together. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator again. So 45 plus 30 plus, okay, make sure when you do your work, you don't use calculator so that I can do faster. Okay, so 45 plus 30 plus 35 plus 50 plus 40. The total cars is 200. So what fraction of the total cars was sold in the month of April, which is 30? So once you get your fraction already, then how do you convert to percentage? Very simple. You just have to make the denominator 100. So divide by 2 and divide by 2. And once your denominator is 100, then your answer will be 15%. Shortcut. Okay, shortcut. Got it? Then you don't have to do a lot of statements already. Okay, question 14. Okay, question 14. Okay, this one also 120 kg of chicken wings were packed into 40 packets equally. What was the mass of each packet of chicken wings? Now, if you're confused whether 120 divided by 40 or 40 divided by 120, then you do this, okay? This is one way to help you not to get confused. 40 packets is how heavy or how many chicken wings inside? 120 kg, right? Okay, then you want to find 1 packet, right? Then 1 packet will be how many kg? Then you just arrow sign. So from 4 become 1. How to do that? Divide by 4. Then the other side, you also do the same. Divide by, let me see, divide by 40, sorry, divide by 40. Okay, divide by 40. So 40 divided by 40, you get 1. So 120 divided by 40. So how do you, if you don't know how to do that, then you cancel. Divide by 10 and divide by 10. So you will get 12 divided by 4 and you will get 3. So that will be 3 kg. Okay, so 1 packet is 3 kg. Are you clear so far? But there's no answer there. So you have to change the 3 kg into grams, 3,000 grams. So 1 packet is 3,000 grams. Answer number 4. Are you clear? Simple so far? Do you think the questions are quite easy until now? Not really very hard. It's quite quite straightforward. But you need to be prepared in your school. Some schools may have harder papers, right? So this is actually not that hard. Okay, let's go to question 15. Okay, question 15. And okay, now it gets hard already. This is the one. And when you think the question gets hard, then how do you do it? You think of your methods. What method do you have? Model drawing, assumption method, grouping method, systematic listing, access and shortage. All these are methods. So box A contains 20-cent coins and box B contains 50-cent coins. The number of coins in box A is twice the number of coins in box B. And the money in box B is $1.60 more than the money in box A. How many 20-cent coins are there in box A? Now, try not to use guess and check unless you have no choice. Okay, but what's the method here? The method here is grouping. Grouping method. I can make one group. So how do I make one group? I know exactly how to make one group because I know there are twice as many coins in box A. Okay, box A. So box A got how many kinds of, what kind of coins? Box A got 20-cent kind of coins. Okay, there are twice as many 20-cent coins in box A compared to box B. So box B has only 50-cent coins. Am I correct? And that is only one time. Okay, so when do you use grouping? You use grouping when you know exactly how to make one group. Okay, right? And then there is also a total number of coins, which is 3. And what else do you put inside your group? There is money involved. There's how much, right? The question also talk about how much. So can you find how much is one group? How much? So if there are two 20-cent coins, then there must be 40 cents. One 50-cent must be 50 cents. And how much is one group? One group must be 90 cents. So this grouping method, you have to make one complete group. So what is the process of this method? The process of this method is to, first of all, make one group. Then go and find how many groups inside here. So how do you find how many groups? You must understand what is this. This is how much more. So you go to one group and go and find how much more is the box B coins than the box A coins. How much more? So go and look for the same thing. Look for the same kind. So you have 50 cents minus 40 cents, and you get how much more? You get 10 cents more, which is one group. One group is 10 cents more. Okay, one group. Agree? One group is 10 cents more. If I got $1.60, how many groups inside? So I divide by 10 cents. Okay, divide by 10 cents. No calculator, what do? Go and change it to whole numbers, change it to cents. And then you will be able to find how many groups. So you divide by 10 and divide by 10, 16 groups. See? 16 groups. So if there are 16 groups, how many 20-cent coins are there? Then what do? Go to one group again. All right, go to one group and look for what? Look for how many 20-cent coins. One group, there are two 20-cent coins. So if I got 16 groups, 16 times 2, 32 20-cent coins. Answer number 3. Okay, I think all my students, you should know how to do this already. Just that whether do you recognize this method or not, that is something else already. So this is the method that you can use to solve this problem. Okay, clear so far? Okay, so let's move on to question 16. Right, any questions, you just write down on a piece of paper. Then after 1 hour, you can ask me those questions. Okay, let's go to question 16 now. Okay, find the value of 12 divided by 8 over 9. So 12 divided by 8 over 9, what do? You have to change the whole number into a fraction, okay, into a fraction. Then keep the first fraction, change the divide to times, and flip upside down. Okay, all right, then you cancel, divide by 4, and divide by 4, you put the answer there. Okay, cannot cancel already, right? Then what do? Multiply the numerators. So you get 27, and multiply what? Multiply the denominators, and you get 2. So 27 divided by 2. So you need to change it to a mixed number. How do you do that? So 27 divided by 2. Don't do in your head, okay? Some of you do in your mind, unless you're very good. Otherwise, don't do in your mind. So just do your working. And then 3 times 2, you get 6 and remainder 1. So your mixed number is 13 and 1, 2. Okay? So mixed number 13 and 1 over 2. And also check to make sure it's the simplest form. Got it? Clear? Okay, question 17. Okay, question 17. The table shows the number of laptops owned by each household. Per means what? Per means each. So how many households own at least? Okay, what do you mean by at least 2 laptops? It means 2 laptops or more. So you should be looking at what? You should be looking at this one and this one. Okay, 2 laptops or more. So how many households own 2 laptops or more? Add these two numbers. 62 plus 16, and that will give you how many? 78 families own 2 laptops or more. Okay, got it? If it's more than 2 laptops, then it's different already. If it's more than 2 laptops, then you should be looking at 3 or more. If it's more than 2 laptops. Are you clear? Okay, so there's a difference in the meaning. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, question 18, timeline. Okay, method, timeline, simple method. And some of you are confused with 24-hour clock. So what do? You may want to change it to 12-hour clock so that it's easier for you to use a timeline. So 17, can you see the hour? The hour is 12 and bigger, so PM already. Right, every time the hour is 12 or bigger, PM. So what is the 12-hour clock? You take 17, work backwards, minus 12, 5. That's the hour, 5:37 PM. Okay, then how about 18:26? 18 is 12 and bigger also, so PM. So work backwards, 18 minus 12, you get 6:26 PM. Okay, then what do? You have a timeline. Okay, timeline, so that you don't do in your head. Try not to do in your head unless it's very simple steps. But this one, I will write a timeline. I will draw a timeline. So get the nearest hour. Nearest hour is 6 o'clock PM. That's your nearest hour. So how many minutes do you jump? Okay, now if you're confused, all right, don't know how to jump, you look at the 0, 0. It is also like 60 minutes. The 0, 0 is also like 60 minutes. So 60 minus 37, you will jump. You will get how many more? You jump how many minutes? You jump 23. Okay, 23 minutes. And then from 6 o'clock to 6:27, that will be easy. So you jump 26 minutes. Okay, so how long did he jog? Then you take 23 plus 26, that will give you 49 minutes. Yeah, am I correct? Yeah, any mistake, tell me, yeah, because sometimes it's not maybe a careless mistake. All right, Caleb and Yoke, can you start your video? Why your video off? Huh? Okay, now, all right, so question 19, let's go to question 19. All right, these are all 1 mark question. So question 19, okay, now, all right, this is the one that you're not sure whether, is it 5 divided by 4/5 or 4/5 divided by 5? Now, again, if you are confused, do this, okay, do this, arrow sign. 5 children share 4/5 liter of lemonade equally. So everybody gets equal amounts. So can you find one child gets how many? So when you do this way, you will know what divide by what. So 5 children become 1. How do you do that? You must have divided by 5, right? Then go to the other side and do the same. So you have 4/5 divide by 5, okay? So change the whole number into a fraction, then keep the first fraction, change the divide to times and flip upside down, okay? And then cannot cancel. So what do? Then you multiply 4 times 1 and 5 times 5. So one child gets how much? So one child must have received or must have gotten 4/25 liters. Am I correct? Yeah? Okay, correct, right? Okay, that's what your teacher has taught you, right? Draw the arrow and then divide by 5, and then the other side also divide by 5, right? I'm sure your teacher has done that also. Okay. All right, let's go to question 20. Now, question 20, okay, question 20, the worst, I mean, someone say the worst thing, okay, not the worst thing, but the last thing you want to do, okay? But if you have no choice, then you do this, draw model. Okay, draw model for all the fractions, okay? But this will take a lot of time. This will take a lot of time. So paper 1 is only 1 hour. So can we do faster instead of drawing the model? Yes, we can. You either make the denominator the same or you make the numerator the same. So think carefully. Do I want to make the numerator the same or denominator the same? The numerators are smaller. So I make the numerator the same because the numerators are smaller. right? And if the denominators are bigger, it's a bit harder to make them the same. So let's make the numerator the same. Shortcut again, okay, shortcut. So how do you get your shortcut? You find the common multiples. Okay, let me write nicely. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, shortcut. How do you get the common denominator? Find the common multiple. Look at the biggest number, 10. Can 10 divided by 3? Cannot. Jump. Okay, jump. 15 divided by 3? Can. 15 divided by 2? Cannot. Jump. Okay, jump. 20 divided by 3? Cannot. Jump. Okay, of course, you may have to do a few lah. Okay, so 25 divided by 3? Cannot. Jump. Okay, what's the next multiple? 30? 30 divided by 3? Yes. 30 divided by 2? Yes. 30 divided by 1? Yes. So that's your common multiple. So you skip a lot of numbers in between. Okay. All right. So let's make the numerator all 30. So 2 times 15. Okay, follow me up. 2 times 15, 30. Okay, let me just write on top. 2 times 15 is 30 and 3 times 15 is 45. Okay. And then 3 times 10. 3 times 10 is also 30. 7 times 10 will be 70. So 30 over 70. Okay. All right. I'm trying to write nicely for you. Okay. 1 times 30 is 30. Okay. 1 times 30. And then how about the bottom? The bottom, you also have to times 30. Okay. So 30 over 60. Now it's a bit untidy because a bit hard to write on the board. But if you don't understand, let me know. Okay, let me just write this a bit nicely for you. Okay, times 30. So on top times 30, below you also must times 30. Next one, 5 times 6, 8 times 6. So you have 30 over 48. Okay. Yeah. So do you know that you can compare the numerators? P3, right? P2, P3, right? P3. So what do you learn in P3? You look at the numerators which are the same. So which is the smallest one? The smallest fraction is the one that has the biggest parts, the most number of parts, which is 30 over 70. This is your smallest. Okay, this fraction is the smallest because why? It has the most parts. So write the original answer, 3 over 7. And then what is getting bigger? Which one is getting bigger? Which is 30 over 60. Right, that's getting bigger already. The number of parts get lesser already. So write the original answer. And then getting bigger some more, which is 30 over 45. And that is 2/3. And what's the biggest fraction? Sorry, missed out right wrongly. Okay, what's number 3? What's the third fraction? The third fraction is 30 over 48, which is 5 over 8. Okay, 5 over 8. And what is the biggest fraction? The biggest fraction is the one that has the least. Okay, the one that has the least number of parts, which is 30 over 45. So the biggest fraction is 2/3, right? 2/3. So that's how you arrange the fractions. Okay, but if you find this a bit confusing, then what do? Then you draw the model. Okay, you draw the model and then you compare, right? Draw the model and then you compare lah. Okay, Mr. Hun draw the model. I just show you that you can draw a model and then cut it into how many parts and then compare, which could also be faster, which may also be faster. So you decide whether you want to draw a model. All right, why not make the denominator the same? Because it's quite hard, because the denominators are quite big and there are 4 numbers, there are 4 denominators to change them. So it's a bit hard also. So maybe the best method is to draw a model, maybe. Then you can do faster, you can compare faster, maybe. Okay, so there are a few ways to get the answer, a few ways to compare. All right, so let's go on to question 21. Okay, question 21, and now we come to the harder questions. Okay, what is angle COE? So you will need to do what? You will need to mark out the question mark. So your angle is your question mark is here. All right, and there are 2 straight lines. So every time there are straight lines, what do? Look out for X. Right, I think I told you last few lessons, look out for X, because when there's an X, then the opposite angle, vertically opposite angles are equal. So this whole angle is 108 and the right angle is 90. Then what's the question mark? The question mark must be 108 minus 90 and you will get 18. So your question mark is 18 degrees. Okay, 2 lines. Every time there are 2 lines, what do? You look for X. Okay, letter X. Okay, now next one. Okay, this one I will just show you a rough drawing. So you need to construct angle ABC 110. Where is your 110? It is near the middle letter. Okay, your 110 must be at the letter B, not letter A. Those of you who draw like that, 0 marks already. Okay, because your angle is not at angle A. This is wrong. Okay, so how should you draw your angle? Okay, now, okay, I think let me show you my protractor. Okay, my protractor may not be accurate. It's just it's a digital protractor. Okay, so you have your protractor and place the protractor onto place the center point of the protractor at the letter B. Okay, nicely at the letter B. Okay, make sure the baseline of the protractor is sitting onto the black line. Okay, the protractor has a baseline. Then look for 110. Okay, but where? Which side do you look at? The line is on the left side, the dark line. So you look at the 0 on the left side and you start counting 110 until here and put a little marking there. Okay, put a little marking on the protractor and then take your ruler. Okay, Mr. is going to do a bit fast without the ruler, just join, something like that. Okay, use the ruler to join and make sure you label ABC and then angle label and you get your 2 marks already. Okay, this is a P4. Okay, it's a P4 question. Nothing to, it's not a P6. I mean, you will be tested on P4 lah. Okay, so this is not very hard. Okay, let's go to question 23. Okay, question 23. Okay, hang on for a while. Okay, Mr. Ong's screen hang a little bit. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, there are 6 shaded squares. Shade 2 more squares to form a symmetric figure. Okay, how to do this? Now, there is a way to do this. You turn the paper, I can't turn the screen. You turn the paper until the dotted line is facing you vertically. Then you compare left and right to see whether the left and the right, are they mirror image? So you look at the diagram. Okay, if you look carefully, there is a square here. There's also a shaded square there. Okay, and then go down some more. There is half a square and there's also half a square. Okay, and then go down some more. There is a shaded square, but the other side don't have. So you will need to color the other side. And then go down some more. There's half a square and there's a half a square. And then go down some more. There is a square here, but on the other side, there's no square. So you have to color. All right, color this side. Okay, so now you will see that the figure is symmetric. So what is symmetric? Symmetric means you cut the figure into half, right? Into 2 identical parts, mirror image. Okay, they are mirror image. Okay, question number 24. Right, question 24. Okay, the edge. What is edge? Edge means the side. Okay, the side of a cube is 6 cm, 6 cm, 6 cm. What is the volume? So 6 times 6 times 6. And you will get, do your working carefully, 216 centimeter cube. This is a giveaway question, right? It's supposed to be 1 mark, not 2 marks. Okay, but anyway, I think the school is very kind. The school is kind to give you this question to get more marks. Okay, yeah, but this is actually not very hard. It's very easy. Okay, question 25. All right, algebra. So what is the value of 14a plus 11 over 3? Now, this is also very simple. A is equal to 8. So what do? Just what is 14a? 14a means what? 14 times a. Okay, 14 times a. So you just replace the a with what? Replace the a with 8. So what is 14 times 8? Do your working. You will get 112 plus 11 over 3. Now, some of you, okay, like also in your 4 operations, right? Your P5 4 operations, some of you do this. Don't do this, very dangerous. 14 times 8, 112, and then later you take 112, and then you, is there a divide or plus? I think that's a divide, right? That's a divide, right? That's a plus, I think that's a plus. Okay, so you separate your steps. Okay, you separate your steps and you get 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then you divide by 3. Now, some of you do this way. Now, what is wrong with this way? Now, when you do this way, you may miss out 1 step. You may miss out 1 step or you may get confused. So don't break up your steps. Okay, don't break up your steps. What should you do? Put everything together in 1 step. Put everything together in one big step. Same as your 4 operations, your whole statement, right? Don't break up the statements into different steps, into many steps. One whole statement, as you do step by step, the statement gets shorter, shorter, shorter until you get the answer. Same for this, okay, same. So you put everything in one big step, and then 112 plus 11, you can see that you will not forget to divide by 3, right? Because everything is inside, so you will know that the next step is to divide. So you will never forget what to do, right? Put everything in one big step. Are you clear? Okay, yeah, because when I see your work, you break up the steps and then you forget to do one more step, forget this step, forget that step because you break up all your steps. Okay, so put everything together. Okay, question 26, right? So we are ending quite soon already. This is quite a simple paper. Okay, now the figure shows cuboid A. Draw a cuboid with a volume half of cuboid A on the isometric grids. Now, you can find the volume of cuboid A. You should have go and find the volume. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. That is the volume. You want a cuboid that's half. So you should be taking 12 and then divide by 2 to get 6. So you want to draw a cuboid that is 6. Okay, 6 cm cube. So how do you draw a cuboid that is 6 cm cube? Then think of a number. Think of any 3 numbers when you multiply equal to 6. Think of any 3 numbers. So what number you like? So what times what equals 6? Maybe how about 3 times 2 times 1? Length times breadth times height. Also can. Then you draw lah. Then you draw the cuboid. So the length is 3 units. So yeah, 1, 2, 3 units. That's the length, right? The length. Or I should put 3 cm. Okay, the length is 3 cm, and then the breadth is 2 cm. And then the height is 1 cm. Okay, 1 cm. Yep. Okay, and then what do? You just join. And by the way, there are more than one drawing. There's more than one answer. Okay, this is just one drawing. And that is a cuboid that is half the volume. Okay, and how do you know? How do you know whether this cuboid is half the volume? You take 3, all right, take 3 times 2, 6, 6 times 1, and the volume is 6 cm cube. And what's the volume of cuboid A? The volume of cuboid A is, what is that? That will be 12, right? Because how do you know it's 12? Because 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 3 is 12 cm cube. Isn't that half the volume? Okay, all right. Okay, somebody raise hand, somebody. So yep, what's the question? Yes?
26, right? Can you put like 1 times 1 is like, or 1 times 1 times 6?
Also can. 1 times 1 times 6 also can. Then your cuboid will look a bit different lah. Your cuboid will look different. Do you know how to draw that 1 times 1 times 6? Okay, yeah, okay, maybe I just give you a quick one. Let me just erase this one, okay? Let me just erase this drawing, okay? And so there are a few drawings you can have. So what is 1 times 1? So 1 times 1, so this is 1, okay, 1 cm is a very tall cuboid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you cannot draw out of the diagram. Can you see that there's no more dots already? No more dot, you cannot draw out the diagram. The moment you draw out the diagram, 0 marks. Your drawing must be inside the diagram. So you have to erase, okay? You have to erase your drawing and make sure the whole drawing is inside, cannot draw outside. So 1, 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that's what you do lah, okay? Also can. Oh, I think we can't do that. Oh, we can't do that because why? Again, too tall already, too high already. So your cuboid is too high because why? The drawing is out of the picture. So for this drawing, I don't think can be accepted because when you try to draw, you have overshot the diagram. You have crossed out of the box already. Understand? So you have to change another drawing. You have to change into another drawing. Okay, so Jordan, understand, Jordan? Yeah, but you're right. 6 is also half of 12, but your drawing cannot fit into the picture. So cannot. Okay, Suren, yeah, Suren.
Can you put 2 times 2 times 2?
2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 is not half of 12.
Oh.
So cannot. All right.
I thought there's like, then 2 plus 2 plus 2.
No. What is volume? Length times breadth times height. All right, not plus and plus, it's times and times. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, now question number 27. What's the method here? As the question gets wordy and harder, you need to think of your methods. Okay, you really have to think about your methods. So what method is this? All right, now, of course, if you know how to do, I don't need to think about methods because I know how to do. There were 120 red, blue, and yellow. The number of red is 1/4 the blue. There were 30 more yellow than red. What is the ratio of the red to the blue to the yellow? Okay, looks hard. So what's the method? There's a fraction here. There's a more than. There are 2 clues to tell you model drawing. So do you try to draw the model? Because there's a fraction, there's a more than. So how do you draw model? The red is 1, arrow pointing, and the blue is 4. So draw out this fraction. The red is 1 box, and the blue is 4. Okay, not hard. It's also not hard to draw this problem. There were 30 more yellow than red. Okay, so how do you want to put the yellow? 30 more yellow than red. Is it the longest rectangle or is it what? I don't know. So anyhow draw. It could be the longest rectangle. We are not sure, but it has to be longer than the red. So you just anyhow draw and make sure that the yellow is longer than the red. And longer by how many? By 30. 30, right? And then what's the total? 120. And then what do you do next? The last thing, one of the last few things to do is to put the units, and your model is done. Yeah, do you think of model drawing? All right, start thinking about your methods already. Start thinking, otherwise you can't solve hard problems. All right, so add up all the units. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 unit is how many? So 120 minus 30, and you get 90. So 1 unit will be 90 divided by 6, 15. And then can you find how many red, blue, yellow? Yes. Okay, so how many red? Red is 15, right? 15. Blue is 4 units. So 15 times 4, 60. And yellow is 15 plus 30, right? 15 plus 30 will be 45. Okay. Now, this is the kind of P6 question you will get, where you need to do more steps. This is the kind of question you will get in P6. Okay, not those simple one step, right? So just be prepared for this kind of questions. Okay, so what is the ratio of the red to the blue to the yellow? Then you write your 15, red, blue, and yellow, and then simplest form. All right, try to divide by something big, okay, something big, 15. If not, you divide by 5, divide by 5. Otherwise, you can divide by 15. And 15 divided by 15 is 1. 60 divided by 15 is 4. 45 divided by 15 is 3. So what's the ratio? 1:4:3. Got it? Are you clear? All right. Okay, so method, model drawing. Okay, let's go to question 28. Also method. Okay, there's a method also for question 28. Now, you are supposed to find the unshaded triangle. So how do you find the unshaded triangle? So if you don't know how to do, underline. All right, in the figure not drawn to scale consists of triangle CDE and a square. Find the area of the unshaded triangle A. Now your picture cannot be very clean. If I see your picture and your picture has nothing written on it, then I think you have a hard time trying to solve. So you should be doing something like this, square. All sides are equal. So which means that the height of the unshaded triangle must be 20. Because 40 minus 20 gives you 20. Am I correct? Okay. So how do you find the area of the unshaded? How do you find this triangle? Oh, how do you find this triangle? Okay, so think carefully, right? So what can we do? How do you find this triangle? If you look carefully, if you don't know how to do, at least you can find what? You can find the what? Find the area of the big triangle. So what's the area of the big triangle? Half times 20 times 40 to find the area of this entire, okay, this entire triangle. So even if you don't know how to do, all right, what can you do? Do simple steps like finding what you can find. So you divide by 2 and then divide by 2 and then you have 10 times 40. So 10 times 40 is 400. So the big triangle is 40 cm square. Okay, so how do you find the unshaded? Okay, let me see. How do you find the unshaded? Is there something missing? Seems like, is there something missing? Did anyone manage to do this question 28? Anyone manage to solve this question 28? Only one person? Is there something missing? Okay, yeah, Jordan.
I saw the question.
Okay, but is there something missing? Because Mr. Ong see like something missing and cannot find the unshaded triangle. Anyone has solved already? Did anyone manage to solve? Means something wrong with the question, right? Okay, tell you what, let me just look at this question and not to waste everybody's time. So I will look at this question later, and then next lesson I will talk about this question. All right. If there's something wrong, I will let you know. If there's nothing wrong, then next week I will tell you there's nothing wrong, and then we can solve next week. Okay. Yeah, I don't know whether there's anything wrong with this question. Okay, but anyway, let's put it aside first. Okay, I'll come to this later after the lesson. I'll come back to you next week. Okay, can we look at question 29? All right, question 29 and your algebra. Okay, algebra. Okay, now Fatima, Gretel, and Helen share $N. Okay, again, you have not learned algebra. So what do? Never mind. Just pay attention first, and then hopefully when you have your lesson in school, you have a better, you understand faster. Fatima received 3 times as much as Helen. Gretel received $15 less than Fatima. Okay, so does Gretel receive more money than Helen? So does Gretel receive more money than Helen? Okay, now if you draw model, again, what is the matter here if you are not sure? There are clues to tell you model drawing. There's a 3 times, there's a less than. So I can draw a model, let's draw. So Fatima received 3 times as much as Helen. Helen got 1 box. Okay, Gretel received less than Fatima. Okay, less than Fatima. Now you must understand that Gretel rectangle must be shorter than Fatima, but her rectangle could also be shorter than Helen. We are not sure, but definitely Gretel's receive less money than Fatima, right? Okay, so we are not sure whether Gretel has more money than Helen or less money than Helen. We are not sure. So Gretel received more money than Helen. So is it true or false? Not possible to tell. Okay, why? Why not possible to tell? Because if you look at my model, right, Gretel could have more money than Helen, right? Maybe. Gretel maybe have less money than Helen. We are not sure. Question never says. Question only says that question says what? Question only says that Gretel received less than Fatima. That's all. Okay, that's all. But we are not sure whether Gretel has more than Helen or less than Helen. Not sure. So answer, impossible to tell. Okay, now with your model drawing, can we do the part B? Helen received N plus 15 over 7. Okay. So how do we prove it? Now you have to prove it. When you say true, false, or not sure, you have to prove it. So you have to draw your model, complete your model. So what's the total money? Total money is N. Yep. Okay. Helen is the question mark. Okay, question mark. Okay. And then Gretel received $15 less. $15. So this is your $15 less than Fatima. So again, what's the method? Model drawing. And then what do you do next? Last thing to do is to put the units into your model. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. And then how to do? How do you find Helen's money? All right. Open your eyes big. Now, Gretel's rectangle is not units. Can I make units out of her rectangle? Stretch it so that it's the same as Fatima. Stretch it. Stretch Gretel's rectangle until it's the same length as Fatima. And now Gretel has another 3 units already. Stretch Gretel's rectangle to make 3 units. Okay, when you stretch already, what happened? There will be a total of 7 units, right? And the model, the total becomes how many? Cannot be N already. N is the old total. When you stretch it, the model becomes bigger and the total will increase by $15. So can you find what is 1 unit? So you take N plus 15 and then divide by 7. So Helen has 1 unit. So 1 unit, N plus 15 over 7, which is your true. Okay, true. You understand now? So that's your model. Again, model. That's why model is very common. It is the most common method that you must think about and must always try to use. Okay, of course, there are other methods. If you can't draw a model, there'll be other methods, but you must always think about your model. Okay, question 30, last question already. Okay, question 30, last question. Okay, now the list shows the item Mrs. Lim bought. The average cost of the items was $25. So every time you see the word average, you can find the total cost. You take $25 and you multiply by how many items, and the total cost will be 100. Okay, even if you don't know how to do, all right, Ms. Long must tell you, never leave the question blank, write simple steps, okay? Like you can find the total, which is the simple steps, and then what you do next? Then you can find how much is these two items, which is 34 plus 22, that will be 56. And then what should you do next? Then you can find the total cost of the other two items, which is 100 minus 56, you get 44. And then you can see some numbers are missing. So like 10, all right, there's something like 1, there's a box there, then plus, there's a box there, and then 8, add together will be 44. Isn't that your P2? P2, this is your P2 already. So what plus 8 equal 14? So that will be 6 plus 8 is 14. Then 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. So item A must be how much? Must be $16, right? And item B must be $28. Okay, item B. So you have 16 and 28. Do you get the answer correct? Okay, so this whole paper is not very hard. So I think you should be doing quite well or better, a bit better for this paper, right? Okay, if you have a lot of mistakes, then it tells you one thing. If there's a lot of mistake, it tells you one thing, that your concept, you need to look at your concept, need to revise your concept. Okay, your concept are the most important, because if your concept is not good, then you find that you cannot do the harder questions. So once your concepts are good, your basic are good, then you can start to think of your methods already, right? Your methods will come after you understood your concepts. Okay, got it? Okay, now, so we are early. The first time we are early. Any questions for today's lesson? Very short lesson. All right, if there's no questions, okay, then those who want to ask me questions later, you can stay back. All right, stay back. And there's one question. Okay, now, before you go, now, just a reminder, there was a question that we skipped. Mr. will need to look at this question to just make sure there's nothing wrong, or there's anything wrong, I'll let you know. If there's nothing wrong, next week we will go through this question, right? Next week, okay? Because Mr. don't want to take time to think about this question, and then everybody all waiting for Mr. Ong. Okay, all right, so those who have questions, you can stay back after the lesson to ask me. All right, so otherwise I'll see you the next lesson. Okay, all right, so goodbye everybody, see you next week and have a good rest. All right, sleep early. Okay, goodbye. All right, goodbye everybody. Anyone who wants to ask me a question, you can stay back. All right, stay back.
Yeah.
Who was that? Karina, right? Yeah, Karina. Yeah, Karina.
I want to ask you about question 16.
Question 16.
Yeah, I think you got it wrong.
Question 16. Question 16. Oh, hopefully I don't get it wrong, because it'll be embarrassing. Okay, question 16. Okay, why wrong?
12 out of 1 multiplied by 9 out of 8, right?
Yes.
So 12 you can divide it by 2 and go to 6, and 8 divided by 2 and equals to 4.
Yeah, and okay, all right, maybe what are we going to erase all this? Okay, let's erase all this. Okay, erase all this, and then Karina tell me again, and then I will copy down. Okay, all right, so did you, okay, Mr. Ted asked you, did you keep the first fraction, change the divide to times, and flip upside down? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, then now you tell me what you did. What did you do?
Yeah, you didn't flip.
Okay, so flip already. Okay, so you flip? You flip already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so tell me, and then I write down what you have written. Okay, so can you repeat again just now what you said? 12
divided by 2 equals 6.
6.
And 8 divided by 2 equals 4.
Okay, and then?
6 times 9, 54.
Oh, but you can still cancel some more. You can still divide some more. Like 6 and 4, you can still divide some more to make smaller. So 6 divided by 2, you get 3. 4 divided by 2, you can get 2. You can still divide some more. Because when you make the number smaller, you do faster. You have less working. All right. So now you multiply, because you cannot cancel anymore already. So 3 times 9 will be 27. And then 1 times 2 will be 2. 1 times 2 is 2, right? Yeah. And then you do your dividing, do your dividing here. And that's how you get 13, 13, and 1 over 2. So what you should have done is you should have canceled some more. Cancel some more to make the numbers smaller. Okay? All right, because if your final answer is not the same, there's something wrong with your dividing. Because the number is too big, you have too big numbers to divide. And when you have big numbers, more careless mistakes because the numbers are bigger. Understand now? Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, next question, Caleb. Or you can ask some more, right? Because now it's a QA session.
Can go.
Okay, Karina can go. I'll see you the next lesson, okay? On Tuesday. Bye-bye. How about Caleb?
Bye.
It's for question 20.
Question 20. Question 20. Question 20. Question 20. Question 20.
Yeah. I thought you like because the denominator, the smallest denominator will be the biggest fraction, right?
Okay. When you make the numerator the same, what is the smallest fraction? The smallest fraction is the one that has the most parts, the most number of parts. Okay, the most number of parts.
Yeah. Because I didn't change numerator or denominator, I just put the biggest fraction there.
But do you know, but if you don't make them the same, and you also don't draw the model, then how would you know? Okay, actually, Mr. can tell you there's a clever, which I did not tell the whole group. There is a more effective way. There's a faster way, because in the group there are students of different abilities. So Mr. cannot talk about too much of this shortcut because sometimes some students may not catch it, right? So Mr. has to go through the normal way, which is to make the numerator the same, denominator the same. All right, that's the normal way. The other more faster way is what? Compare the fractions. 3 over 7 is definitely smaller than half. So that is your smallest, okay? And then half is the middle, like the middle. And then you are left with what? You are left with 2/3 and 5 over 8. 2/3 and 5 over 8. So which one is the smaller? Then you can make them the same denominator. And then you compare these two fractions only. You compare these two fractions only. Okay, so when you compare these two fractions only, that will be much easier. Okay, much easier. So you have 3 times 8, and then 8 times 3. So you only compare two fractions, and then 2 times 8, and then 8 times 3, and 5 times 3. So which is the smaller one? That will be 5 over 8, the smaller one. And the bigger one will be 2/3. And that's how you get the answer, answer there. Okay, yeah, so this is a little bit faster, but Mr. didn't say that because Mr. I will go through the normal way, the normal way where the teachers make the numerator the same, denominator the same. All right, that is the easy way for everybody to understand.
Yes, and can I check question 1 to 3 because I came a little bit late.
Okay, question 1 to 3, your answer is, okay, what's your answer? Question 1 to 3, okay, your answer is 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and then number 2 is 1. No, question 2 is 4. Question 2 is 4. Question 3 is 1.
Okay, yeah, I got all correct. Okay.
All correct. Okay,
Thank
any more
you.
questions?
No more.
Okay, no more questions. Okay, then I'll see you on the next
Thank you.
lesson.
Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.